Hi, and welcome to The Late Show on NBC. We're your hosts, Katie Mitchell.
And I'm Emily Mebane.
We're super excited to be back. This is the first show of the year. And here we have guest Andrew Berdahl, who is SGA President. Welcome. Thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
How are you today? Doing well?
Pretty good. Enjoying the weather.
So we just wanted to start by asking you to tell us a little bit about yourself. What year are you here at Muhlenberg?
I'm a junior, and I'm a political science and religion studies major, and I'm actually from Allentown. I'm only about 10 minutes from campus.
Well, that is super convenient.
Very nice.
Was that like a major deciding factor in attending Muhlenberg, or did you have other reasons that drew you to the school?
I like the small size. I went to a very big high school. I went to Parkland High School. It was about 3,600 kids. So I wanted a smaller school, and my father actually attended Muhlenberg. He graduated
No way.
in
Keeping it in the
1985.
fam. That's nice.
Yeah, so I kind of wanted to follow after Dad. I was comfortable at the school. I knew it very well, so it was a pretty easy decision for me.
Yeah. Oh,
Cool.
That's awesome.
So what persuaded you to get involved in student government here?
Well, obviously I'm very passionate about the school. The love for Muhlenberg runs very deep in my blood, so I figured, with Dad and everything, so I figured I wanted to get involved somehow, and it was spring semester of my freshman year, and there's openings on student government representative seats. So I ran for one, and I was lucky enough to get one of the seats, so here I am now.
Yeah, and that's awesome. Congratulations on becoming SGA President.
Thank you.
Did you think at the time when you were running that you were gonna win?
I mean, I wouldn't have ran if I didn't think there's a good chance of me winning. But you know, with anything, you've got to accept the fact that it might not work out. So
Right.
I knew there was a good chance of me winning, but there's also an equally good chance of me not winning. So I went out there and I worked as hard as I could.
And I remember, I think you told me this last year, but what was your campaign slogan when you were running?
My campaign slogan.
Did you have one?
Yeah.
I feel like I remember you telling me something like this.
Jonathan Hobbs started. He said, "A vote for Andrew Berdahl is a vote for Middle America," or something like that. Yeah, or
John
vote.
Hobb, a
Yeah.
good old NBC member as well.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So had you held any previous roles before becoming like the president?
I was just a regular representative, and then I was active on committees and everything. I was a pretty vocal representative. I was always speaking up and stuff. And then I was at a finance committee meeting the one night, and a couple of my friends on SGA, who I was really close with, urged me to run. And it was sort of a last minute thing. I just threw my name out there and went for it.
And what would you say has been your favorite part so far of SGA, or maybe of your presidency?
Just getting to work with everybody. I mean, there's a lot of really special people here. I get to work with, anyone up from the president to, plan ops, to,
Right.
People in the dining hall, Sodexo, teachers or professors. It's just really nice to get to work with everyone and see all their perspectives and just sort of do what I can to maybe help the communication better between them and students.
So you basically know Muhlenberg like the back of your hand. You have the inside scoop.
I don't know about the back of my hand, but I know it pretty well, yeah.
A lot more than we do.
Yeah. So you said you're a political science major, right?
Correct.
Do you feel like your time as SGA president influences your major at all? Or like, do you see any connections between the two?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Like you're partaking in the shared governance of the college and seeing how an organization governs and stuff. But I'd even take it a step further and say even a business major or anyone in that field or anyone altogether could benefit from it, because it's like an executive experience. You're learning how to be a boss, more or less. Sometimes you've got to learn how to delegate responsibility to people, take responsibility yourself when something doesn't go the way you plan, goal setting, all that stuff. So it's not just, if someone's thinking about running for SGA president, it shouldn't just be someone who's a political science major or has
Definitely.
political ambitions.
Of course. And we were just talking about this earlier, but you said you're going to Washington, D.C. next semester.
Correct.
And you get an internship while you're there. Do you have any idea like what kind of internship you're hoping to land?
I actually already landed one.
Congrats. That's awesome.
Yeah, with Congressman Dent, actually.
Wow.
He's the 15th district, which we are currently in, and then I'll be doing 30 hours a week for him on Capitol
That's
Hill.
really great.
So it'll be
And
really
do you
fun.
take classes as well, or is it just your internship?
I'll be taking 2 classes.
Okay.
I don't know what classes yet, but I'll be taking 2 classes, and one day a week you go off and visit different places. You'll visit the White House, Foggy Bottom, which is where the State Department's at, the Pentagon. You'll get to see all these places, see a protest, see a congressional hearing,
So
all
you will
that.
be kept busy. But it's going to be an
Incredibly.
exciting semester
Yes.
for sure.
So what other clubs or organizations are you involved with on campus?
I'm in ATO. I'm our treasurer, so there's that. Take care of all our money and our finances, which is a blast. And then college Republicans on and off, and I go to chapel every Sunday night, or at least I try to. So that's really it. I keep it to just a few things and try and do them the best I possibly can.
That's awesome. Keep him busy. Yes. So we have to bring it up, this new rebranding of the school with the M logo. There have been what it seems to be like a lot of mixed reviews about the M.
Yes.
Some controversy, especially about this M in the dining hall. What are your thoughts on it, and how do you kind of speak to students about it who do have mixed reviews?
I personally like it because I know the whole backstory behind it.
You've seen it all come together.
Yes. I can totally understand the mixed views though, because it feels like something was just rolled out there, but that wasn't the case, because last spring, President Helm on his way out and then President Williams on his way in both decided to bring in the Cole Group, which is a education consulting group, and had them look in at the school's basically story, what the Muhlenberg story is, looking at our identity and branding. And what they found is there really wasn't a consistent visual identity. Athletics has their own logo. Alumni department has their own. Theater and arts department has their own. So you had all these different logos, and it was changing throughout the years and everything. There was never one solid, like, Muhlenberg visual identity. It wasn't. So what they did was, when they found, they were going through all this stuff, they found Henry Melchior Muhlenberg, our founders, his monogram, his cursive M, and his whole signature, and they took the M off of that, and they turned that into our logo because they thought it was distinctive. It was something very Muhlenberg, or something we owned. It's a lot better than the clip art mule, I think. In my personal opinion. It looks more professional. It doesn't look like a minor league baseball team. It looks collegial.
Very true. Honestly, that does change perspectives on it, hearing the backstory.
But that's why I think some students have been more hesitant to accept it and embrace it. It's just because they don't know the backstory.
Yeah, they don't understand where it's coming from.
And they don't understand, they haven't heard the narrative yet. Once they do, then maybe they will warm up to it. But it's changed. Whenever there's change, it's not always well received right away, at least.
No, of course not. Especially when it seems abrupt, but
and
everyone will get used to it eventually. it'll just take a little bit of time.
And the kicking mule, and it's not going away. We're not becoming the Muhlenberg Cardinals. The mule is staying. We're not going to become the Muhlenberg cursive M's. Yeah.
That's awesome. And do you feel like you had a say at all in the process, or student government in general? Or were you guys just kind of there for the discussions?
Students did have a say. Over the summer, there were student focus groups. So they got to, go through, this PowerPoint and, work with the Cole Group and see, Muhlenberg's visual identity over the years. And they gathered feedback, and then from some faculty and from senior staff. And then the decision was ultimately made, I think, at the end of the summer or the beginning of the semester here. And then we rolled it out, obviously, on the 16th of last month.
So I guess it was like a year-long process this has been, or longer?
About a half year or so, I think. About a half-year-long process.
Definitely a lot of time investment involved in that.
So before you go, we have to ask you, do you have any weird facts about yourself, or something that people don't really know?
So everyone sees me. They see, you got a bit of red facial hair going on, red hair. They see the big cross around my neck. Everyone thinks I'm Irish Catholic, which is not true.
Not true. What are you?
My family's actually Scandinavian and Norwegian on my grandfather's side, and his ancestors were actually Vikings. When I first found that out, I'm like, that's pretty cool.
So that's your most fun fact?
I mean, that's off the top of my head, yeah.
Hey, you would never know by your outward appearance. There you go. No. A little inside scoop into the life of the SGA president.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming today.
It's been such a pleasure having you.
Thank you for having me.
We're really looking forward to seeing other changes that you're going to make as SGA president.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Well, that is all for The Late Show. I'm Katie Mitchell.
And I'm Emily Mebane. Thanks for tuning in.